I've been watching Hailey Van Lith since she been hooping in high school against Paige Beckers. And people seem to forget because, she's had some troubles within the last couple of years, on the court at least. People seem to forget that at that time, Hailey Van Lith was touted to be like the second best player in women's basketball, at least in that class of Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Like all those, like Cameron Brink, all those ladies grew up in the same class. And in that class, during that time when they were in high school, Hailey was considered basically 1B to Paige Beckers during that time. Now, she gets to Louisville, and she's still an elite scorer and a top scorer, but she just wasn't able to get over the hump with that team. And maybe it was because that team just wasn't good enough. Maybe, she was too scoring oriented, but she was still an elite level scorer. One of the top scorers. I think she was the top scorer besides Caitlin Clark, like the second or third top scorer in college those years in Louisville. And she just so happened to get showed up by Caitlin Clark during the tournament, which everybody's watching, especially during Caitlin Clark Mania. It's still Caitlin Clark Mania right now, but especially during that time, everybody's watching, and Caitlin Clark is dropping a 40-point triple double on you, and you're having a bad scoring game that game. That's just rough. That's just rough. And then Caitlin Clark, she tried to talk trash to Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin was like, "Man, look at the score. Fuck is you talking about?" And it just made her look bad. It made her look bad. And I don't know if that wasn't the only reason, but that was part of the reason why Hailey decided to transfer from Louisville to LSU. Which, on paper, you guys can look back on the channel. I did a video about that. I was amped. I was like, she's teaming up with Angel Reese and Kim Mulkey and that whole squad out there, Flaw J. Johnson. They're definitely winning the championship. There's no reason for them not to. Because Hailey is an elite level scorer being added on to the team that just won the championship. It's over, right? They're definitely going to win it. Again, I've noticed I've been wrong a lot on the channel. I was wrong. And I think it was mostly because of, one, Angel Reese having some off the court issues, not just with the team, but kind of focusing more on her outside accolades like modeling and music videos and stuff like that. And I think that was detrimental to the team in the long run. Like they got past it and she worked on those things, but by the time they figured it out, I think it was too late. You see what I'm saying? Also, too, Kim Mulkey, I think she was misusing Hailey. Like, she tried to turn Hailey into a defensive facilitator, and that's just not her game. That's never been her game. Hailey Van Lith is a scorer. She reminds me a lot of, like, a Carmelo Anthony type of player or a Devin Booker type of player. They are through and through scorers. Can they do other things? Yes. Do they have spurts of doing other things? Yes. They're great players. But their archetype is a scorer. Isolation, off the ball, whatever the case may be, give me the ball and I'm going to put it in the bucket. That's her game. And Kim Mulkey tried to make her a defensive playmaker, and I think that was the worst decision Kim Mulkey's ever made on the basketball court because it just didn't work. As we've seen, it didn't work. And then once again, she got torched and embarrassed during the tournament by Caitlin Clark, which again made her look bad. Like I got a funny story. My dad didn't know who Hailey Van Lith was, right? I was hyping her up, like when she decided to go to LSU, because I was like, no, they're gonna win again because Angel Reese, Flau'jae's getting better. The rest of the team is still there, and then they're adding an elite level scorer, and I was like, nah, like she's a beast. His first time watching Hailey Van Lith was in the tournament, and Hailey had played some of her worst basketball I've ever seen her play. during that tournament. So my dad's viewpoint of her, yes, he's seen highlights that I showed him later on and stuff that I've said about her, but his viewpoint of Hailey Van Lith is she kind of fucking sucks. She's a bad decision maker. She gets torched on defense. She doesn't shoot the ball, but that's not her. That's not her game. And I'm begging and pleading, especially during that Iowa game, I'm begging and pleading with him like, yo, this is not her. This is just a terrible scheme that she's in. And she's just out of it. Like her confidence is shot. Like this is just the worst version of Hailey Van Lith. And unfortunately, we're seeing it on national TV. But this is not her. She's a great player. My dad joking around, he didn't really want to hear it. But that's also too because women's basketball is becoming more popular on the college level and the WNBA level. A lot of people's first impression of Hailey Van Lith was this tournament, this past year's tournament, of her getting a lot of turnovers and not shooting the ball and missing a lot and not playing defense or getting torched on defense. So everybody's viewpoint of hers is being that. But when I know, and people that have been watching women's basketball know, she's a great player. She's just been in tough situations, right? Then, the LSU loses, and she decides to stay for another year in college, and she also decides to transfer again to TCU. And I was hoping that her going to TCU would open people's eyes to how good she really is and also up her draft stock, because over the past couple of years, her draft stock has plummeted, and I think that's why she decided to stay in college and go to TCU. And so far, it's early in the season, so far, it seems to be working out, because right now, we're back in Hailey Van Lith form. She seems comfortable. She's even, one of the benefits of her playing at LSU, she seems to have figured out how to become a playmaker, because not only is she the number one scorer on TCU, but she's also leading the team in assists as well. And she's the consummate leader of that team. That team is currently, again, super early. It's only like 5 or 6 games into the season, but they're currently in contention for whatever qualifying tournament or whatever, which they've never been in contention for that before. And that's because they're being led by Hailey Van Lith and her teammate. I can't remember her name. I gotta look it up. I'll put it in here somewhere. But her teammate as well is also playing very well. They got her. She signed when Hailey signed to TCU. But right now, Hailey Van Lith is averaging 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7.6 assists, 2.4 steals. So Kim Mulkey, it didn't work at the time, but what she did was unlock a different part of Hailey's abilities. And it didn't work at the time, but it's definitely showing to be beneficial right now, because she's not only playmaking, she's not only scoring, but she's also defending. And now those are things, playmaking and defending, like I said in the beginning, were things Hailey did not do. She was a scorer. And now she's added those things to her repertoire because of her time at LSU. And I think that's poetic, and I think that's beautiful. And I think that's going to be good for her going forward, just in general. Her three-point shooting is a little down. I think she was averaging like 25% from three. But again, like I said, it's super early. I don't think she was shooting out of threes. I think she was more so getting to the cup and mid-ranges and stuff like that. And I don't think she shot that many threes. So I think that will go up as time goes on. Also, too, I know I mentioned the playmaking thing. She also, for the first time ever, got a double-double with assists. That goes to show that she isn't really a playmaker. First time ever in TCU, she got a double-double with assists. Like, she was crying, and her coach was like, hey, man, like, you've never done that before. That's awesome. And, again, she's leading the team in assists. And I don't know. I think that's great. I hope she could keep this going. I hope TCU can make the tournament. I don't think they're going to win the national championship or anything like that, but just give Hailey a chance to show out in the tournament. Maybe make it to the second round, hopefully. Yeah, I've been a fan of Hailey Van Lith for a long time. I hated to see her kind of fall off a little bit, and it's nice to see her slowly rising back up. Not just her draft stock, but her confidence. Because you could tell her confidence was a little shot in LSU, and that was just rough to see. And I'm just happy to see her getting her confidence back, and I hope that we get to see her in the WNBA because I think she's really gonna shine in the WNBA, especially with her newfound playmaking ability and defensive ability. But be on the lookout for Hailey Van Lith. I'm telling you guys, like for all the people that are new to women's basketball, the new influx of fans and people that are interested, Hailey Van Lith truly is one of the top players. Like when you hear about Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers and Juju Watkins and Angel Reese and all these, she was in that conversation coming into college and some in like half of her time in college. She fell off a little bit because of certain situations that she was in, but I don't think she should be exempt from those conversations just because she had a bad couple seasons. And I think we're going to see the true Hailey Van Lith going forward. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you a Hailey Van Lith fan? What was your first impression of her? Like, what was the first time you seen her? Was it in high school? Was it during the tournament when Caitlin was whooping her ass? Let me know. Do you think she's gonna keep this up at TCU and turn her career around and stuff like that? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And most of all, YouTube, I love you guys. Peace out.